What do you want for nothing? Your money back? So, finish that book. No, I didn't. I just got to part 2 on fake teachers. Page 143. I have not started reading it yet. Now, combine that with this book, The Body, and this book, which I haven't even opened or read a word of it yet. What am I trying to say? What's this video for? What am I trying to get at? Well, the other day I was just talking to Buddy and told me mental health issues. I like, hey, whoa, hold on. Just like raccoon, bitten by another raccoon or a dog or something, got issues. Look, got bit. This tiny little thing changes the behavior of that raccoon or the dog. An example, Cujo, do you remember? Eggs. 20 St. Bernards, and all of them were used to create the movie Cujo. Egg whites used as the form showing that, oh look, this dog, this animal, maybe raccoon, in Raccoon City with Mila Jovovich. Did I just murder her name? I apologize. I am not here to murder anybody's name. I'm just using these examples to show you how mental illness, as I told Buddy, is the result of something having power over you. In this case, it's people with knowledge who manipulate numbers. Maybe they're like accountants who change around and move the numbers around, creating artificial results. What about the parasite called rabies? Well, that too is a result of something that changes behavior, and it is a biological result of a parasite and its need to live. So can you recognize the characteristics of rabies? Why, yes, you can. It changes the behavior, makes the raccoon aggressive and needing to spread that parasitic rabies, right? I don't know what else to call it, other than rabies has a need to survive, just like those in this book. We're going to create a system that can never be destroyed, even after religion, government, business, you name it, families, syndicates, you name it, everything in the world can be destroyed. But the system will live on, because once you know how to manipulate numbers, we will create a world of numbers. Hey, how about this? We're going to build this world into a machine. We're going to build a Cybertron. There you go. We got Transformers, the Autobots, and Decepticons creating Cybertron. Now, is that the future you want? What about Buddy here? Hey, we're going to kill a whole bunch of poor people because poor people are going to topple the system. Look at this. We create enough rope with poverty, and we will reduce the ability of those middle class and those who are poor, because they are trying to take care of those in desperation, right? You get that drowning person, you swim out to save them, and they will drown you because they're living in fear. They are scared of drowning, and they will drown the person coming out to save them. So to solve this problem, we create a rope. Here, grab the rope. Here, grab life preserver. Here, grab the log. Here, don't drown me. I'm trying to save you. Right? So, in all things, you know that song by Tim McGraw off the Southern Voice album? I'm only Jesus. Here, we are here to try to save you because you're worth saving. But look, everything we are doing for you, you're still reverting back to those habits of desperation, poverty, and insecurity because you have this mental illness, this power of fear, greed, envy, whatever it be. Maybe it's a prejudice. You have this hatred. Or maybe it's betrayal. Or maybe it's whatever it is. Maybe it's a handicap. You have a handicap or something in your life that has power over you. And not even Jesus can save you. Not Muhammad, not Muhammad, Jesus, Abdul, or they're all Buddha. No, what is that? The I Ching, horoscopes, tarot cards. Oh my God, voodoo. Voodoo has power over you because people are hoping and praying for your demise. And you, with all that rope given, are destroying your life. I would fix that if I were you. But until then, you are labeled a number, or maybe livestock, or maybe you're cattle, and you have a need to either live viciously or ferociously or in some manner that makes, oh look, he's living just for today because he does not see or she does not see a future. And all you can do, just like that movie, Before I Fall, there are people living in a world who only have this moment, who only have today, because they don't see a future. And this changed their behavior, hence even the idea of fear. Hey, look at this, look at this. How many ways can I change behavior? Well, by reading about lobotomy, when it was first introduced, you see that people who are lobotomized resemble people who are hypnotized. They're like robots, and they don't have any power because they have been traumatized so heavily that, you physically lobotomized me, so now I don't care if I live or die. And when you use drugs or alcohol, food, sex, money, anything to heal that wound of trauma, that thing has power over you. Oh, look, I bought a house, want to raise my family, and now I have this asset that is controlling me and giving my employer power over my life for the next 25 years. And God forbid if I have to go into debt and get a second mortgage and be in debt for 50 years to pay this off, when even after buying this land, I might find out years later that that land was not allowed or could not legally be sold to me. And even if it was, and it was all legal, the government still owns the land underneath what you bought, because you only own the top 6 feet or whatever it might be that's within the clause. And if the government deems, oh, hey, we need that land because we're going to build a road, we're going to create infrastructure for the good of the majority, and we're going to sacrifice your place, because even though you're located on a swamp, everybody needs a golf course, and those swamps, even though they're the lungs of the earth, we are not privy to your wishes and wants through ownership, because you feel that a swamp will purify the water and or act as lungs, kind of like the tundra up in the north. All that land purifying the water so that when it goes down river, all the way down into Mexico and down to the equator, oh look, all this nice clean water that was purified by the tundra up north, that was purified by the swamps, and all these places that water has passed through the ground, purifying the water from all the toxins and the pollutants created by business, by cities and infrastructure. Oh look, you need to purify the water for the city, and the only thing you can do is empty the wastewater from bathrooms, even though it's treated and filtered and deemed okay to be put back into the rivers. Look, not a lot of life around there, is there? Yeah, no, don't eat the fish. Don't eat the fish, right? Because look, nothing can survive except for very few life forms, aquatics, that can live on feces and stuff like that, right? You might find dogs eating their own feces or that of other dogs, and that's why you don't have them sleep with you or lick your face. But not all dogs do this, and unfortunately, you know, when we have little toddlers, little kids, we try to tell them, I know you like the puppy, know you like dog, and you let it lick your face. Don't let dogs do that. But we're only parents, and we can only teach so much, right? We can only teach what we know. And if we don't know what to teach our kids, who are we to say, oh, you know what? It's okay. Let the dog lick you. Doesn't hurt anybody. In fact, what doesn't kill you will make you stronger. Good on you. But because families of every race and every class have been, how do you say, nobody can know everything, all right? That's fair to say. I can only know things I read about. But just like lobotomy and having the same effects of some hypnotism, not all hypnotism is bad, right? Absolute power only is corruptible when you, being in power, abuse that power, right? Now, we don't teach about prejudice or how prejudice created, and maybe the world will never teach that. Oh, look, because of this parasite creating that rabies behavior of aggression and need to survive, look, it is going around taking the host or the fungi that changes the behavior of the ant, infecting other ants, creating colonies of robotic corpses. Oh, look, that is that's the way for a parasite to survive. So if we take any business, government, or any form of authority and we put the idea that if you don't create customers, if you don't create a space or an environment where your business can thrive and even prosper, your business will deteriorate and exist no longer, right? So this is the thing about everything in the world, and why maybe the guy who wrote The Art of War, maybe why he said everything's at war, because there are two sides, say black and white, or the feminine and the masculine, yin and yang, or colors, or you know what? There's a whole world of positives and negatives, right? Whatever metaphor you want to use, and the idea of, well, look, both sides are trying to push you off, right? This is power. Something with power over top of an individual who has no ability. An example, the yes man, right? Everybody knows of Year of Yes, right? It's supposed to be a good thing. And everything can be a good thing when it's not out of context, right? That's really, really important. It cannot be out of context. It cannot be perverted or abnormally changed by the environment. Let's take two people. Two people go to work and they're co-workers and they get along just fine, and they're both taught not to become friends or become too friendly with each other outside work. Work's work, you leave work there. Now take a family. Two individuals who want to be a family with just each other. And if it goes really good, they can be a family and in love make a little boy or girl, make a family with that looks like him or looks like her, right? That's the idea. I love you, you love me. Let's make one more of me and you, and so we can give this child the life that we always wanted. That's the idea when you have kids. Let's give this little baby conceived in love the things that we always wanted. You and me. Because we're working towards a goal, a lifestyle in which we can create all the very best memories together. And because of a world of consumerism, whether it's Marxism, capitalism, communism, no matter what culture or what society it is, right? The idea is, no matter what you call it, is still a world of consumerism. So if I can't provide you with everything you want, you are going to go get it from other sources, whatever I can't provide. So in creating a family, I have to first be able to make sure I can meet all your wants and needs personally. And in turn, I need you to meet all my wants and needs personally. And if there's a third party, let's say a matchmaker, right? We create a business. I'm in the business of matching two people together so they can create families and a life and a lifestyle, and that is very healthy and supported by both people. But if my matchmaking business hinges on this one or both people being able to meet the needs of each other, and I tell them that, hey, I'm going to put you two together, I'm the third party, the business employing both of you or just one of you, and I need you to be able to be with other people so they can be in adult relationships too. What do you create then? Well, it depends upon what you want to view that relationship as. If you want to view it as a war of the sexes, you'll have a war of men against women, and women going out being with all these other men hurting this man. And what have we found when women hurt men? You find the exact same results as to when a government, a religion, or business, or a family hurts one person. That person will retaliate, and just like with their back against the wall, they will hurt or kill or in some way defecate upon this individual or this group of people, right? But there's another way to look at it. Look, we're creating people who love themselves before the other person, but not a war. Just, hey, I love me and I'm going to get my needs met regardless of you. And vice versa, this person here, male or female, will do the same. So now there are two individual people who are whole, but choose to spend their life together, but live as if they're in open relationships, right? Now they're living a poly life, polygamy, whatever you want to call it. But they're loyal to each other. And they're adults, so they can do whatever they want because their love is real, and no extramarital relationship is going to destroy how they feel about each other. In fact, it can actually create a stronger relationship, because I will never allow you to be with somebody who you can fall in love with any deeper than me, and vice versa. So they are always the alpha in any extramarital relationship. And it's because they are getting all their wants and needs from this relationship. Now, if you create that in a business, what are you doing? You're creating a yes man, because the business comes first and not people, right? Now, what if you do this with a family? Let's say the mom and dad, and they're creating a family, and they're going to raise this child so that this child can be in adult relationships, loving themselves more than any other person. So they can build a relationship, but their loyalty goes back to either the family, a business, religion, government, race. It can actually go to any source of power, creating a yes person. And of course, in loyalty can be abused, because if you create a yes person, they're just kind of like that rabid animal who doesn't have the ability to think for themselves. They're just rabid, and they're controlled by something that has power over them. And they don't have to be vicious. They just have to be compliant or complacent, and always put this other thing in power other than the person they're building a family with. So if you have this kind of society or culture that lives like this, what are you doing? You're doing a lot of different things, and in all aspects, the society and the world you're building is dependent upon each person in that world. So the husband, the wife, the child, if you put any of these three people in power over the group, look, King Tut, little child in power. And what good is that? Well, when you look at those who know how to manipulate numbers, and you create a number society, you are creating, yes, people, or one person, or a business, or a religion, or a government, or some form of power that becomes a mental illness that has power over this child. And this child has no ability to protect themselves, and is a puppet to whatever agenda this has, right? So it doesn't matter what race, what sex, what age. This can be done to every single human being in the world, regardless of sex, age, religion, race. It doesn't matter, right? Here, it's my way, and if you're not one of us, you're against us. And I will find your enemy, because I will become friends with your enemy, right? So again, we need to create people who, even if the system topples of money, and what has all history showed us, money can be worthless. So does that mean I'm going to invest in precious metals? Well, let's say you do. Let's say you invest or buy or purchase or whatever it might be, whether it be stocks, bonds, collectibles. When you live in a world where every material thing can be taken from you, what good is anything, right? So he says, and there are a lot of people who say this, invest in precious metals. Well, I don't go around buying anything, and nobody is going to sell me anything, because gold can be fake. Precious metals can be fake. So I deal in paper money. And because paper money has become something that, oh, look, what good is this? It can become with no value. What good is paper money? So in all things, when you teach a child in a world that everything can be taken from you and everything can be deemed useless unless somebody values what you are, right? It doesn't come down to morals and values. It doesn't even come down to consumerism, capitalism, communism, Marxism, any of that. It doesn't come down to race, religion, politics, nothing. What it comes down to is, what can you do? So does that mean if I become an athlete for all my life, that I'm going to have value? No, no, it doesn't. We look at all the athletes, we look at all the famous people, and we see that without the education, that they can all be used, abused, and without the education that they honestly need, they can all be manipulated, used, abused, and destroyed, whether it be by strangers, family, friends, or even God. And if I tell you God is this, that might not be what you choose God to believe. Because maybe like you, the God that I believe in has no need for power in this world. And that's what makes God my friend. Because God doesn't have need to control me and has no ability to have power over me. And why is that? Well, that's because God's my friend. And in real relationships, my friend has no need to influence me or to have communication with me, because with communication, all things can be corrupted. You get that, right? Everything can be corrupted. So when I'm walking by and I see any advertisements, oh, suddenly I'm hungry. Oh, suddenly I keep seeing this picture. Suddenly I have a strong attraction to those facial features or those body features. Or I keep hearing the song and suddenly I liked it at first, now I really like it. Or you see what I'm saying? Conditioning is real, right? Just like train your body, conditioning is real. So just like sexual preference, you see a world full of people who and this is applicable to everybody unless they are taught that sexuality, just like everything else, is plastic. And other people can shape your sexuality and your sexual preference. So if I want you to like somebody, I just have to put in your sights anything that will make you think about this type of person. And if you like somebody right from day one, you fall in love at first sight. And maybe it happens to everybody. All of a sudden, I just seen this girl, or maybe women are the same, maybe not. I'm not actually sure. But anyway, everybody, I think, has fallen in love just in that moment of first seeing that person, and it could be their energy. I'm attracted by their smile because it's warm and inviting, and it just rocks my world. It sends me head over heels because I am really attracted to that smile, those eyes, those facial features. Maybe it's her physical appearance. Maybe whatever it is, maybe it's the entire package. Maybe I like the entire person that she or he is, right? So in all things, whatever you're attracted to about a person, maybe we should teach our children to identify what attracts you to that person. Oh, I like Bruce Lee because that's who I want to be. I want to be lean. I want to be solid. Oh, well, there, you identified why you like that person. Why you like Christy Brinkley? Oh, how can I not like Christy Brinkley? Come on, man. What about... And the list goes on, because we live in an incredible world where people make all the difference in a life. And when you see that, um, whoever's selling opioids way back in Hong Kong, where Hong Kong, families decimated, has sold to Britain for 100 years to fix this problem of the opium wars destroying families. And it's just like in North America, I guess, where alcohol destroyed the natives and killing all the buffalo and a source for food made them dependent upon everything that wasn't here before. Unfortunately, everything that was said to not be here before, it was actually here even before the supposed or very real Columbus, right? Well, there's always been somebody in power. They could be kings, queens, could be government, could be elders, could be tribal, could be family, could be business, right? Whatever source of power has always been in charge, right? So if we're going to teach our kids anything, it's not to make an employer the good guy or the bad guy. It's not to make business the good guy or bad guy. It's not to make government, religion, or any other entity, including family and friends, the good or bad guy. It's about understanding why you feel the way you feel and to erase anything that has power over you so you can be in a relationship of equality. And the reason for that is because maybe not everybody feels this way, but in an equality relationship where there's no third party, it's an honest relationship. Oh, I'm here because I want to be here, because I really like you, and that person too is in a relationship with you because they really like you. And no outside source is needed to be liked because you're pretty awesome and I just like you right from day one, right? So when you understand that there are some people that are not raised in that way, they are raised in whatever society or culture or whatever views that I talked to this one young lady. I think she was a teenager. I talked to her back in 2014, 2015, 2016, something like that. And I asked her, I said, and she told me what religion she was. And she said, you know what? As far as I know, I'm just living this life. And it's kind of like I'm just here to experience life. And whatever going to happen is going to happen because I'm not in control and I'll never be in control. And it works for her. And some people need that. And when you look at the idea of power or anything else, then you see that there are people who need someone or something greater than themselves to be in control. Okay? That's just a fact. And it's because every single human being, animals too, every life form on this planet has a need to survive. And because nobody can survive on their own, people really, really want or need something that's stronger than them because we're all vulnerable. And maybe that's why the solutions in this world exist. Thank you.